Hey everybody, it's Jeff, Aromatics, and it's that time of year when I start planting my tobacco, or at least getting it ready to plant. And it looks like there's other people that are doing the same and other people that are interested in doing the same. I have had a few comments and questions just asking me just how do I do my tobacco? Do I have any suggestions, any hints, or anything like that? Now, first of all, I'll say that I'm not a professional. I'm not an expert at this. This is my third year doing it, but it's been pretty successful. So I can share how I do it, and you can take as much advice as you want and do some research yourself, and then maybe do it even better than what I'm doing. So let's start with step one, getting your seeds. So you can get your seeds. You can ask me later because I don't have it in my head, the places where I got it right now. But this one right here, say I got from Leaf Only, and it's a burley seed, and they are super tiny. The amount of seeds to do a whole field would probably fit right in the palm of your hands. So they're that small, about the size of a pinhead. So once you've got your seeds, you're going to want to germinate them. Now what I do, first of all, is I get some pods. These are, I'm trying to remember what they're called. It's peat moss pods, and they are wrapped. They're flat and they're hard, and you add water and they expand. And they have a little bit of a kind of biodegradable wrap there that the roots are supposed the roots can penetrate. Now this is not ideal. This is not the way I prefer to do it. I just was short on time, so I picked these up. But how I would normally, the better way to do it is the same kind of tray you can get, and it just has just the dirt in each tray already pre-made, ready to go, without this wrap on there, because I find the wrap is probably maybe will slow your growth down a little bit. That's not for sure, but that's just my thinking, right? But it still works, as you can see. So you'll want to get something like that. And then what I do is I place one seed in each one of those pods, or each one of those squares in your little tray there. Now the reason I do that, some people just take a bunch of dirt in a tray and just sprinkle the seeds in there and they all come up, which is fine. But I like this way better, because if you have, say, a bunch of tobacco together, like this one had 2 seeds in it, well then once it gets big, you're going to eventually have to separate those plants, and when you do that, their roots are entangled, and you're going to have to it's a little bit of a shock to the plant, in my opinion. Plus you get rid of some of that dirt, whereas if you just have one plant in one pod, you can just take that pod and just transplant it into your bigger pot without any problems at all, and without disturbing the plant. It can just keep on growing, and there's a lot less shock to that plant. So the question, your next question is probably, when is the best time to start planting the seeds? Well, first of all, you want them to germinate. So the main thing is you want that plant, as soon as it germinates and you start seeing like the leaves, the sprouts coming up, right away you want that plant to get as much sunlight as possible. Now a lot of people do theirs earlier than me, and they use grow lights, but that didn't seem to work very well for me, and I don't want to spend a lot of money on really good grow lights. So I've basically had to wait until the weather cooperates. So for me, I plant them a little bit later than most people would, but so far, like I said, it has worked out pretty good for me. So you definitely want to get as much sunlight as possible. So what that means for me here in southwestern Ontario, Canada, is I find that usually about mid-April is when I'll want my sprouts to be ready to be brought outside. So they usually take about maybe a week and a half to 2 weeks to get to the point where you'll want to bring them outside. Now a lot of these trays have a plastic lid, so what you can do is put that plastic lid on top of it when you bring it outside and just tape it down. That way you can get sunlight without being battered by the wind and maybe birds picking at it, stuff like that. So that's the key. Whatever your weather is, you want to be able to have your plants outside but not be like too cold. So by Celsius here, it would be, anything above 10 degrees and sunny is great. So what I'll do is during the day, I'll take my plants, sit them outside, when it's, you know, above 10 degrees and sunny, and let them get sun all day long. And at nighttime when it gets cold, I can bring them inside. You don't want the frost to hit your plants. That's what kills plants. And I think most people, they know that. And I think that here it's about the May 24 weekend, the May 24, where people actually feel pretty safe about bringing their plants out. So, but mine, they're out right now. So about by the time, you know, end of April, May comes, they're outside all the time except for at night. If it's going to get cold, I will bring them inside, and that'll get them started. And that's that's what works for me. Okay, so now you've got your plant. It's probably about almost May for me. It's been like maybe about 3 weeks in, and you've got a nice, decent like sprout coming up. There's probably a pretty good root system growing in there. Now it's time to take these and transplant them into a little bit bigger of a pot. So what I use is just a regular flower pot about that big. And as far as the soil, all I use is just Miracle Grow potting soil. Nothing special at all. I'm sure there's much better ways to do it than that even. I know there's people that probably make their own mulch and use there's probably a really nice specific type of soil that tobacco likes. Technically, it's like a tomato plant. It's a nightshade plant. So if you can grow tomatoes or whatever works great for tomatoes, also works great for tobacco. But I find the Miracle Grow just has worked fine for me. Maybe someday I'll change it up. I don't know. And anyway, so what I do is I take the flower pot and I fill it up about almost to the top and pack it down a little bit. And then I dig a little bit of a hole just big enough to place your pod. What you'd want to do is what I like to do is take that paper off. You don't have to, but I do just to make the roots grow a little bit faster. And I'll take the pod and I'll put it in the hole, level it off so that you got your sprout happily sticking out the top. And that's basically where I'm at right now. These will stay outside. The weather's pretty much, it's you know, a couple weeks into May now, and the weather's been pretty good. So I just leave these plants out all the time. If there is a fear like of frost, like keep an eye on the weather, then you can always bring them inside where it's warm until it gets warm outside again, and then bring them back outside. As much sun, I can't stress it, as much sun as you can possibly get. Tobacco absolutely loves sun. They actually grow really well in dry climates. So that's basically where I'm at right now, and I'm gonna keep, this is as far as I'm gonna go on the video for today. So later on, if people are interested, which I'm sure they will be, later on in the season, when I end up transferring this into the final pot or into the ground, I'll continue doing this series, these videos, and I'll show you where I go from there to the next stage, which will be the final stage until it's ready to, either you can stock cut it and cure it, or you can prime the leaves as they mature, and hang them up and cure them that way as well. So if anyone's interested in that process, just let me know. I'm pretty lazy, so if people don't hound me about something, then I probably won't do the video. But as I go, if there's any questions that you have or anything you want me to do, just ask me, and that usually gets me motivated to continue on with the videos. So that's all I have to say for now. And like I said, if you have any more questions about what I do, I can share, and we can continue this journey together. And it's always fun to watch these plants grow from just little guys into 6 feet tall plants with great big leaves on there. So hope you guys found this video helpful and interesting, and I'll see you on my next one. So till then, Aromatics signing out.